Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. What we're going to look at today is a question from John K4JBL, a very simple question. I have been told to leave my power supply on because it is better for both it, the power supply, and the radio. Is this an old ham tale, or is it for real? Thank you for all your help and time you put into the hobby. The answer is yes, sort of. As far as power supplies go, generally you can leave them on if you want to, although I would recommend turning anything electric off when you don't need it. I'm one of those people who turns my computer off every night. So I see no reason to burn all that extra electricity or solar power or whatever for nothing. Now, of course, my solar station, which has the big Golden Mate battery in it, is on all the time, except when the sun shines, and that's the charge controller that takes care of it. Now, I want to talk to you, though, about the radio. No, you do not need to leave the radio on all the time, but I want you to notice right there is a clock. Okay, just turned 5:30. It's off by quite a bit because I haven't changed it in a while. It's just a little crystal in here. It doesn't connect to GPS or anything. So when I'm done with my radio, off it goes. However, this is from the manual for this radio, okay? Time set. You can set the year, month, day. It's not self-setting. Time. Note, the backup battery for the internal clock, the IC7300, has a rechargeable lithium-ion battery to back up the internal clock. If you connect the transceiver to a power source, the battery is charged whether the radio is on or not, and it keeps the correct clock setting. However, if you do not connect the transceiver to a power source for a long period of time, the battery will discharge. In that case, the transceiver resets the internal clock. If you do not use the transceiver for a long period, we recommend that you connect the transceiver to a power source at least once a month. The charging period is 2 days. 2 days, whether the transceiver's power is on or off. So the front panel switch on this thing here, the front panel switch right here, controls the main radio. But the part in here that is the sound card that talks to the computer is always powered, as is that little charger for the clock battery. So yes, it helps. Now, there are other radios that are in use in ham radio, notably mobile radios, that have settings, memory circuits, things like that in a memory. And there's a cell in there, a little watch cell or battery hearing aid size cell that keeps that memory alive. It is a little known fact that normal computer memory disappears when you turn the power off. It's called dynamic random access memory. There's a small bit of static random access memory that's used for the few core parameters that need to be set until they can get the disk up and running and read the data off the disk. But there is a cell often in these transceivers that keeps all that information in good shape. If a transceiver is if one of those mobile transceivers is more than 10 years old, there's a very good chance that battery has worn out. And if it has, it becomes, unpredictable in its behavior. So if you have an older radio, like 10 years, 15 years old, and it's one of the smaller mobile-sized radios, check on that battery, because that battery might need to be replaced. It'll be good for another 10 years. Now, a lot of these batteries are soldered into place, so it becomes a little bit of a trick getting them out. The manufacturers figured that you'd buy another radio by then and you wouldn't care, but of course, ham radio equipment lasts pretty much forever. So there you have it. Yes, you do want to connect your radio to the power supplies for a couple days every month. If you operate, say, a couple times a week, don't worry about it, because it's just the operating is going to pick up that battery. But it does need to see power for about 2 hours. Let's say 2 hours every month, 2 hours a month. This one does in particular. And I think I've let that thing go sometimes a little bit too long when we've been traveling a lot. So I ended up resetting the battery. All the parameters associated with the internal function of the radio are also on this little memory card right here too. So, and that's non-volatile memory. So there you have it. I hope that answers your question. More power to you. Until we next meet, 73.